All right, and welcome to Wednesday evening in your favorite talk show, A Dash of Life. I'm your host, Dash. Tonight we're going to be having one of my good friends from the military. I've known him for a long time, Eric Young. He's got his own podcast. He DJs. Probably does a lot of things that I'm not even aware of still. It's going to be exciting to have him on, but I want to thank everybody for going out. Man, we hit our goal of 150 subscribers. We're now up to 155. So let's go make it 350. Make it 350 subscribers, and old Dash here will jump in the ring with a professional wrestler and get destroyed. So, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell everybody out there that we need to get 350 subscribers. We've had some great shows this past week. We had Ross. Last night we had the football show. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Make your picks. You got to have your picks in by Friday, 8 p.m. We got some great football coming up this weekend. But tonight, like I said, I want to get away from that. And we're going to get to Eric here in just a few minutes. So when he's ready, he's going to come on. And as a reminder, Ross does not represent the VA. He's not a state or a federal VSO. All the information is from his personal experience. I'll throw that out there. And we want to thank you again, Ross, for all that information. Hopefully I didn't get you in trouble. So we're just waiting on Eric. As soon as he pops on, we'll get going. But again, thank you guys for coming out. Lou, we got Christopher Maddox finally back after an absence of about 6 months. We're going to be... Hopefully. I got you, CYAs, Ross. I got you, buddy. Hopefully we won't... we've been having some trouble connecting, so hopefully we won't have too much trouble there, Eric. But we got a lot of stuff up on the channel. Like I said, tell your friends, tell your family, your neighbors, whoever it is, go sign up for A Dash of Life. It's a lot of different things. It is life. It's my friends doing things. It's comics, toys, collectibles, you name it. It's some great stuff to be going on. And I see your room, but I don't see you. Hey, welcome, buddy.
Okay, I think I got it all figured out now. What's going on? Who?
You know what's going on. Just living life, being retired, growing out the gray hair here.
Absolutely.
No, you still look young, my friend. So I don't see any gray in there. It's looking good.
For whatever reason, I don't have any grays yet. Well, not a whole lot. I got like one right here, and then I got like one that growing here somewhere, but it's okay.
This is all Nicholas Ketchum and Jonathan Niles.
I believe it.
If you really want to know, this is all Ketchum and Niles right there.
Yeah,
well, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you, buddy. I just want to. If you haven't watched the show or haven't caught up on it, this is a show about my friends who do amazing things in their lives. And I have a lot of amazing friends.
Absolutely.
And you're right there in that group, buddy. So tell us what you've been doing lately.
Man, so I retired 1 March 2021, 21 years, 3 months. And I was really looking to get back to work, and then I thought about it, man. 20 years is rough on the body. So
yeah.
I spoke with the wife, and I say, hey, I really want to do this DJing thing. And she was like, okay, well, I'm working, so go figure out what you want to do. And I'm like, all right. So I got back into DJing real heavy. And then I just had a wild idea to start a podcast, which turned into 2. So it just kind of happened that way. And so I'm running 2 podcasts right now, and I'm really trying to get out here DJing. I'm in Phoenix right now, and it's a beast out here because there's so many DJs and so many, because it's a big metropolis, so it's rough, but I'm still pushing, man, and Mama taking care of home right now while I get it all figured out.
Yeah, I've got to say, I retired in 2013, and then I took a few months off myself, right. And then I got back into the workforce, and then last year I was just like, I'm done. I want to be home, stay home with the kids, so I became a stay-home dad. I'm homeschooling the girls, kind of like, my wife's working. She's she's the breadwinner. She's taking care of us while I'm out here trying to live this fantasy of being a podcaster and a YouTuber, I guess.
Right.
So no, it's great. It's kind of cool that I saw. I see that you're doing your things. And guys, go check out his YouTube channel. If you're connected to my channel, he's on my favorites. Go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He's got some great stuff on there as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast and your YouTube channel?
All right. So the first one I started was a Sophisticated Spark. That's with my best friend in the world, Janine Coleman. We've been friends since high school, and we've had, her and I have had a lot of interesting conversations, and I felt like we got something to say to the world. So I said, hey, let's start a podcast. And she was like, I don't know what I'm doing with a podcast. And I was like, well, neither do I. Let's figure it out and let's do it. So
figure it out.
Yeah, so we got it started, and I ended up having a conversation with a couple of my other military buddies. I don't know if you recognize any of them. But Sherrod Lane, Eliza Mitchell, and Dr. Dwayne Brown. We all basically met when I was stationed at Moody in 820th. And we've been friends. But again, we were having those type of conversations where I look at Doc Brown and Eliza as mostly like as mentors. And man, a lot of what they're saying and a lot of what they've said to me throughout my career, the rest of my career, it rings true. And I felt like they have so much knowledge that's I wanted to share with the world. And so I'm trying to retire everybody. So hopefully as YouTube stuff take off, and I'm trying to retire everybody. Anybody that's been a mentor like yourself, that's been a mentor to me, I'm trying to retire everybody. We're gonna go out and party and hang out.
So you said you like your friend is it Janine? I want to make sure I get her name right.
Yeah.
You said you guys didn't know she didn't know how to do a podcast. What do you find now that you've done it? What do you find easiest and what do you find hardest?
So the easiest thing is for me, because I'm a nerd, so I get off into the editing because it's all fun for me. So that came to me really easy. But believe it or not, the hardest part was pressing record and putting out the content. That was the hardest part.
I think that was for me I can talk all day long. You know me. I can talk. The hardest part for me at first was getting here and actually talking in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can talk to people all day long, standing beside me. Like I said, you know me, but actually talking to people on a camera and not even knowing if they're listening, or that was scary and it was hard.
Right.
Now I think the hardest part for me is putting out content that people will want to watch. I think, I'm okay with putting out content, but am I putting out the right stuff? Like you said, you guys talk, you have conversations, and you can turn that into a whole story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to do with bringing all the guests on is you get to tell your story, but is it easier to do it because you already have the stories there that you get to tell again, or and just tell more of it? Is that easy?
So for me, it became easy because, believe it or not, I really don't talk to the camera. You know what I mean? Like, because I do all of my editing and everything through Zoom. So we're basically having a Zoom conversation, right? Yeah. And then I'll go back and do all the editing and make it look pretty and all that other stuff. But it came easy to me because we're having a Zoom conversation. We're just sitting there talking back and forth, and and then once I edit it, I'm like, we can't put that on YouTube.
Well, I mean, because like it's easy to talk. Like when I'm talking to people, it's like easy to talk to you and I, no problem. Right. But it's like, are the people actually out there watching and listening? And that was scary at first, which now I know that they are and things like that. But man, it's just, this is a new world. Like I know you DJ'd, you've been on the mic, you know how to talk, and you know how to get those words out. And for me, it was just like, I'm scared. But my buddy Nick was like, go do it. Just do it. Just don't care. Don't worry. Just go out there and talk to the camera and you'll be fine. And here I am. I'm having a blast, dude. I just love it.
Yeah, it's dope. I try to catch your show as much as I possibly can. With trying in between of everything else I got going on. But you know, my wife, she's my sounding board, man. Like a lot of times I get frustrated and I get discouraged because, you know, I look at the subscribers and I was like, oh my God, we ain't got too many subscribers. And I look at
Yeah.
the views and she's like, you are so impatient. It all takes time.
That,
Yeah.
well, I think my wife and your wife need to have a talk on how to talk to us.
Probably. And then my best friend, being who she is, you know, she's talked me off of a ledge quite a few times throughout my career.
Yeah.
And she like, E, you bugging. Because we, you know, we talk. Like, E, you bugging, man. Like, look, it's going to take time, but you got to put the work in. You know, so I got them two in my ears. So that's who really keep me grounded a lot of times, you know. And of course, my family. But, you know, I talk to my wife every day. And I talk to my best friend probably every other day, almost every day, because we got production meetings. And we got to figure out what the new topic is. And then all of that. So when they see me getting frustrated, they know to chime in like, E, calm down. It's okay. Like, we going to get there. Just calm down.
I try to have a method to my madness.
Mm-hmm.
I try to have everything, but I'm like, I mean, again, being a rookie at all this, it's like, all right, I want to have this, and I want to have this, and I want to have this, and I think that's, you know, I sometimes I need to slow myself down. Sometimes I need to be like, all right, I got you. I'm tracking, and like I said, my wife is like, you know, I'll be like, oh, I only got this many views on this one, but this one shot up the chart real quick, and I'm just like, man, but yeah, sometimes I get wrapped around the numbers, and I just need to look off to the side and be like, okay, if it's all gonna work out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I love. I've watched a few of yours, and I love. You already see the camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with you and your the one I've watched on YouTube, man, you guys just make it just seems so relaxed and so fun, and your editing is great. But that's one thing I'm going to learn to do one of these days. I'm going to learn to edit, but
I tell you, you can take over the world with YouTube. You can take over the world with YouTube because because I paid for the expensive editing programs. Because, you know, I got a Mac, you know, for DJing, and I paid for all the programs, and I just wasn't using them. And I'm like, well, let me learn how to use this stuff. So a lot of it, man, is off the cuff, and you know, if it's something I can't figure out, I go right to YouTube because it's all on YouTube.
Yeah, I think what I like about so much, like, I want the dash of life. What I want about the dash, I want it to be real. I don't want a whole lot of editing to it,
right?
Because it is life, and I want that to be real. But I do for some of my other stuff. I'm learning because I'm going to have some other kind of goofy shows and things like that where I can just throw up on there 5-minute clips, 10-minute clips, whatever the case they are. But that's what but with you guys, man, I just love it. You're just it's so real, and it's so, I get goose. I mean, don't take this the wrong way. I get goosebumps just listening to you guys with your conversation because it's real. And that's what I'm trying, and I'm hoping that's what I convey with this stuff. But you guys are awesome.
Absolutely.
And hopefully
I really do.
And hopefully we'll be able, maybe I'll learn how to do the Zoom thing too. And maybe I can get us where I get all of you, your crew on there, and we all can sit down and do a show together and talk. And because I'd like to pick their brain. Man, those guys are, you guys are smart. You guys just, man, it's just fun to, and I feel like I'm in there. Like, I feel like I'm sitting there next to you guys.
Right.
When you're talking, because you guys are so real, if that makes sense.
Man, honestly, that's what we're going for in both Parallel Legacies and Sophisticated Spark, because the connection that we have with each other, it clearly shows through. Because I even look at our first video of both Sophisticated Spark and Parallel Legacies, and it looked tense. You know what I mean? Like, we don't really know, but then, you know, once we conversate or converse, because I know my homegirl gonna kill me. Once we converse and talk about, you know, what it is that we were doing, it's like, yo, this ain't us. And I think even in the first show, my buddy Sherrod was like, yo, this ain't us. Like, we trying to be PC, but this ain't how we talk to each other. And he made a very valid point because it shines through. If you're just doing it for the money, people gonna pick up on it. If you're just doing it for whatever reason other than to put out good content that something that you would want to watch yourself, and I think that's the biggest thing, is something that I would want to sit and watch. And
Absolutely.
that's the biggest thing for me, is putting out content that I would want to watch for 30 minutes to an hour, because I know that I'm asking a lot for a person to sit down and listen to what I'm saying for 30 minutes
Yeah.
to an hour. So I try to put out content where it's something that I would want to sit and watch. And I think we've
Absolutely.
been accomplishing
That's great. So I applaud you, man. I love it. So
that.
continue on with it. Like I said, guys, if you're subscribed to my channel, go in there to my favorite channels, click on it. You're not going to be disappointed at all by watching the content that Eric and his crew put out. It's wonderful. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. So how are you enjoying, like, other than doing the podcast and the YouTube, how are you enjoying retirement?
Well, it's still pretty new. It's only been about 6 months, so I'm at the point now
Yeah.
where I'm itching. Like, man, I gotta do something. And my wife get on to me like, go to bed. Like, it's gonna be there tomorrow. Go to bed. But I've had time to allow my body to heal, and allow time for me to just decompress. Because
Yep.
with us being security forces for 20 years, we're always looking for the next problem to fix.
There's gonna be times where you still don't feel decompressed. Even here, I am almost 8 years into it,
Mhm.
and there's times where I'm just like, I don't know, I don't know.
Right.
But man, yeah, it's a wonderful feeling to be. It is a wonderful feeling to be retired. I think, and I miss the guys. I miss you guys.
Yeah.
I miss the camaraderie that we had. I don't miss some of the work.
I don't miss the work at all.
I don't miss some of the.
It's always.
I don't miss some of the stuff that we went through, but I really do. I miss being able, like, just doing this brings back good feelings and brings back good times that we had. So I hope you still get to do that with some other close people as well. So
Yeah, fortunately, my Parallel Legacies guys, we were all in the 820th together, so we get to have that camaraderie and talk smack back and forth, and there's always going to be a bunch of crap talking amongst us, but that's honestly what I miss the most, is the people and the influences that I've been able to make on people. Because I still get texts from my troops today. One of my troops is a flight chief now, and I'm like, oh my God, you? But he a good troop, but he get out there off the deep end sometimes. I would have to wheel him in, but just knowing the lessons that I left, somebody took a hold to it and is running with it. So, but yeah, absolutely, I do miss the troops. I do miss the people. I still tell a story about you, whether you know it about.
Tell it.
So
I'm not.
I don't know if you remember, but it's probably more of a shot at me than a shot at you. But it was my very first QC, very first one. It was Sergeant Hayden at the time, and Sergeant Hannah now. But you and Sergeant Hannah were in QC, and I bombed it. And you came and was like, well, young, you know what? But I think you knew the whole time that I ain't crack a rig or nothing. I was just using a little cheap study guide, so you wasn't busting me over my head. But from that moment forward, I always open the rig, period. Always open the rig, because I remember, like, yo, who could be mad at me if I don't get in this rig? Like, I thought about that my entire career.
Yeah.
Staff sergeant at the time, Gordon Hooper. QC, and I still
Man,
tell
that was
the
a
story
long.
all the time.
That's a long time ago.
That was literally 20
That's a
years
good
ago.
memory, though. That's a good memory. That makes me feel good. But I always like everybody always has a lasting impression. Like I just remember us cutting up a lot just on post and having those good times, and it's just, those are the things I remember. I remember playing football and having a good. Those are the memories I love. So it's good to always have. Hold on. Stoney says best time was showing up with Eric Young hungover working the desk when you were the flight chief. I I will neither confirm nor deny that any of y'all were hungover at this time.
Me either. I don't know what Stoney's talking about.
I don't know what the statute of limitations are on all that stuff, so I'm gonna hold off on that.
I don't know what Stoney's talking about. I was bone sober every day I went to work.
See, those are some good memories, though. But you guys were always. I mean, we worked with a lot of great people there at Tinker. I know you went off and hit the other bases, but I really have a fond memory of all my Tinker peeps, and it's just great to see you guys. A lot of you guys are just rocking it. From Mark Damon Brooks is out there writing books and becoming Mr. Famous Author, and it's just great to see you guys doing so well. I want to get you back for another one, buddy. If we can do it, we'll set up another one. I just wanted to, like, again, most of these things are just to kind of get people to know who you are, and then we'll delve into some other good stuff next time, and maybe I can pick your brain on some of the editing stuff that you get to do, and maybe I'll learn to do some things like that.
Absolutely. I'm a call away. Everything I can tell you, I promise I'll give it to you.
Well, it's good to see you, my friend. I love you so much. You're doing great things out there. Continue to do it.
We'll do.
And we'll see you on the next one, okay, buddy?
All right, Hoop. Good talking to you.
All right, buddy. Good talk. All right, guys. Hey, everybody. That was Eric. What a great show. Just like I said, go to the Dash of Life channel. You'll see his link in my favorites. Hook it up. Watch him. It's great stuff, guys. He's an amazing podcaster, YouTuber. Like I said, you just feel like you're in the show with them. So go check him out, watch him. And I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thanks for telling your stories, Eric, and thanks for telling your story, James. I don't know what the statute of limitations are, but anyways, James, it was good for you to come out. Stoney, good to see you, buddy. Thank you guys again for coming out. Keep checking with us tomorrow night. An old show with a new spin. Vern and I are going to be doing the Red River Roundup. We're going to be talking about Big 12 football. We're going to be picking our picks and doing NFL picks for us. We've got a trophy or some sort of thing coming out that the winner at the end of the season gets to hold the trophy and have bragging rights. So I hope you'll check it tomorrow at 6 p.m. before the Cowboys game. We're going to get all of our stuff in before Dallas and Tampa Bay. But again, thank you for coming out tonight, guys. If you haven't, please go subscribe to A Dash of Life. Watch it. Help me out. Help the channel. Support your friends. Support Eric. He's great. Like I said, go check it out. So again, from the bottom of my heart, remember, take care of one another, love one another, and I'll see you next show.